Welcome back, boys and girls. Another beautiful day here, and today we're working on the turbo. So first thing we're gonna do, as you can see, we got our frame cleaned up here. We cut the hoops out, got the axle back in temporarily. So we're gonna move this axle forward now a couple inches. And my problem before was that my drag link was really close to the pitman arm on the steering box. So I actually, if you can see, I cut it down, shortened it, which gave me less steering, so that wasn't fun, but it also was really close. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move it forward, and we've got ourselves here a Chevy Astro steering box. It's pretty much identical to the factory Jeep one here, but on this one, the pitman arm goes the other way. So it'll stick the steering out a little bit here. I don't know, we might smash it on some rocks, but we're gonna try it out. I also ordered some DOM from Ruffstuff. We got some 2-inch quarter wall bent tubes in this box. That's our lower control arms. We got our upper control arm here. So we're gonna make new ones, lengthen it up a bit. Then we'll make ourselves a homemade drive shaft and hopefully get these coilovers back in, get some tube bent. Roughly gonna do something like this. So we got our Ruffstuff 2-inch bent tubes here. This is quarter wall DOM, and that'll be our lower control arm. So this is called a bush dom sleeve, same pipe, and you put a bushing inside, and this is what you mount to your axle side. So we gotta notch this so we can weld this on at the right angle. Got our homemade clamp there, exhaust clamp deal.
And if you notice how he set them up, so the bend kind of is in favor with turning, gives it a little more clearance for the big old tire. Nothing crazy, but it'll help.
So we got our lower control arms notched here, welded on our sleeves, and we welded on our Heim inserts. These are 1.25" Heims, and inserts from Ruffstuff, Heim from Ruffstuff. These are the old Heims, new inserts. New sleeves. We're going to be using the old bushings with a 3/4 sleeve instead of the, I think 9/16 is what they come with. But those are made. Now we got to make our third link, our upper. So this is a kit from Ruffstuff also. This is for the Jeep style mount, which I have on my axle, but it's not. It's actually from TNT. So that makes it a lot easier mounting that up there. But you could just put a tab, a regular Heim, it doesn't really matter. But we've got our front end in. We have our links made here, as you saw. I have our track bar tacked on, just so we made sure we had clearance with the axle at full travel and everything. And we've been doing a lot of work on Jeff's Jeep, as you've seen, the red 2-door. But while he's been doing that, I've been tinkering with mine a little bit. As you know, we got our Rogue Fab bender, and I've been kind of learning how to use that. Little bit of a learning curve, but I've had a lot of help from my father, my brother, and we started bending a cage here. So we have our main B pillar. It's just a hoop that goes across, and then we have our A pillars, one solid pipe all the way down, crossbar for the dash, another bar up top, and we have our 2 supports up top. I really don't have the headroom to do a full X up here, and I think this is strong enough. I don't plan on racing or anything, or I really don't plan on rolling, but this is more of a just in case, and I want to have some safety in this thing because we've cut a lot out, made some holes here and there, and it's pretty much a tin can that'll just get crushed. So I've got this harness bar that I've figured out, and I got all the bends marked out on the pipe here. So it's time to bend it. Here it is, our piece is bent up. I've got it in the tubing notcher now, and it's time to notch it. So once we get that notched, then we can tack it in place and make our other bars. We got our piece notched, cleaned up. We got our B pillar all cleaned up. Time to weld her in. We have our harness bar tacked in place here. Fits pretty good, pretty happy with it. And now it's time to make some braces. So we're gonna have a piece from here on an angle up to here, and we've got those cut and notched, so we're gonna tack them in. Well, it looks like we have got the top section of our cage all tacked together, and this is just the center. I will be putting pillars all the way back, but this is the center section, and the issue back here is I'm gonna tie them in to my shackle relocation brackets. If you guys watch the 1-ton swap videos, you'll see Jeff put that in his Jeep, but I may just put a plate all the way across the back, get rid of these little plates so it's nice and strong in the back here. And I can't really cut this out too much, because if I cut it out to drop the pipe through, then we might lose a little structure down here, but really not crucial. But anyways, we might just have to take the shackle boxes out, we'll see. But for now, that center section is pretty much done. We're gonna drop that whole thing down. As you can see, we cut holes in the floor, sticking through the floor. It's all gotta be cut down. And we're gonna tie it all in with this. So this is gonna go from my frame stiffener to my 2x6 rocker here. And when I first put these in, I never tied them in. Let me tell you, it's a big mistake. You really have to, because I smashed this thing on a couple rocks. And as you can see, it has tweaked the whole body. We got cracks here. There's a big concave. I don't know if you can really see it here. Same thing on the other side. And now the doors don't close nicely. Everything's messed up. So if you do 2x6 rockers, do yourself a favor, tie them into the frame rails. So with some help from Jeff, I dropped the cage down. As you can see, we got it on jack stands in the front, block in the back. It's not going anywhere. And now we can weld it up. And now we got this super bright light, which makes welding in a dark area much, much easier.
busted my hand.
What are you doing over here?
You know,
Think you can just start breaking shit on my Jeep? Unbelievable.
Shocks for my own desires.
So we're taking the shocks out of the back. We've got the front here welded up while Jeff's hammering away. I just welded all the top joints really. Just stuff I'm not gonna be able to get to once this is all the way up. And now we're gonna take the shocks out, which Jeff's doing, and he's gonna start hacking out this rear shock hoop setup. So we're gonna tie everything into the cage. So there's really no point in keeping this setup. It's just extra pipe that's in the way. It'll make it really difficult to get up to the battery and get to the fuel cell and everything. So that's gotta go. So we got the shocks cut out of the back. No more hoops, say goodbye to them. We're gonna get our C-pillars in. We're gonna do some more tubing on the front. But stay tuned and you'll see even more of this Jeep next week.